HBO's The Penguin, Episode 1 sets a high standard for the Batman spin-off, giving us a fresh yet familiar look at Gotham. Colin Farrell's version of the Penguin, or Oz, is different from what we've seen before, with a new backstory and a unique kind of power. But the Gotham he lives in feels like a place we've known for years, thanks to ideas that have been part of DC's history for decades. The episode picks up right after the Batman ends, with Gotham in chaos. The Riddler's gang has wrecked a lot of the poorer areas, like Crown Point, while the wealthy people are mostly untouched. Behind the scenes, organized crime is shifting, and Oz sees this as his chance to rise. It's a strong first episode that dives into deeper themes and really pulls you into Penguin's world. The first episode of The Penguin opens with Michael Giacchino's moody theme from The Batman, but the closing credits feature Dolly Parton's 9 to 5, which is a pretty big shift in tone. The choice of song isn't just because Oz likes good music, there's more to it than that. Creator Lauren Lufranc told Empire that Oz's music taste reflects his personality. Oz is such a different guy. He's really a wild man. He's hard to pin down, but there's a deeper meaning behind the song. 9 to 5 goes beyond Oz's quirky side. The song, originally written for the 1980 movie of the same name, is about fighting for equality. In the movie, office workers stand up to their sexist boss, replace him, and make the company more productive. It's the perfect song for anyone who's ever thought they could do a better job than their boss. And it's about ambition and tearing down corrupt systems. Even though Oz Cobb is a criminal, he sees himself as fighting for his class, standing up to the elites and reclaiming what he believes is rightfully his and theirs. In a way, he's made 9 to 5 his own personal anthem for change. Oz's impulsive murder of Alberto Falcone in the first half of the first episode sets the tone for the series and reveals his biggest weakness, disrespect. Even though Oz knows he needs Alberto to move up in Gotham's crime world, he kills him because Alberto makes him feel like he doesn't belong. It's not just the insult that pushes Oz over the edge, but the truth behind it. This moment shows how far Oz will go to gain power or protect his self-image, even if it's as reckless as killing a mob boss. While Oz is unpredictable and volatile, his real strength lies in his ability to adapt and persevere. His emotional reaction to Alberto's mockery is a sign of his impulsiveness, and it's something to watch out for as the series continues. He doesn't always think things through, and his arrogance can lead to poor decisions. For example, after killing Alberto, he frames Sal Maroni, assuming that Maroni's desire to keep up appearances will let us get away with it. This assumption is flawed but reflects how Oz sees the elite world he's trying to infiltrate. That said, Oz's plan to shift the blame to the Maronis is clever. Sal Maroni is in Blackgate prison because Carmine Falcone betrayed him, breaking the mob's code. By pinning Alberto's death on Maroni, Oz manipulates the situation to his advantage. He not only clears himself of suspicion, but also shakes up Gotham's criminal power structure. How he continues to exploit this chaos will be key as the story progresses. The theme of performance plays a big role in The Penguin, even from the first episode. Oz is an outsider trying to fit into the mob world despite his rough beginnings. He wears what he thinks are fancy clothes and drives a flashy car, all to project an image of success. Sofia Falcone deals with a similar struggle, telling Oz that the restaurant her father used to take her to feels too rich for her. She even shares a story about her dad paying her to keep her elbows off the table, showing how much pressure she felt to conform. For both Oz and Sofia, fitting in with Gotham's power structure is key. Oz wants to be part of it, even though he claims he wants to tear it down. He idolizes mobster Rex Calabrese, who he sees as a respected community figure, though in DC Comics, Rex is actually Catwoman's father. Oz wants to take on that role, distancing himself from his past, partly because his mother's fantasies made him believe he deserved more. Sofia, on the other hand, is navigating the mob world as a woman, a dynamic that creator Lauren Lufranc has said was meant to challenge how women are typically portrayed in gangster stories. Sofia's story about her father paying her to behave a certain way shows how out of place she feels, reinforcing the tension between her identity and the expectations placed on her. On the surface, Oz decides not to kill Victor because he sees a similar vulnerability in him. When Victor stutters, begging for his life when they first meet, Oz is visibly shocked and his anger fades. Oz recognizes another broken person in Victor, relating his stutter to his own clubfoot, which Oz has worked hard to hide and refuses to see as a weakness. But, as with most things in The Penguin, there's more beneath the surface. Victor isn't just an individual character. He's meant to represent the audience and allows Oz to express his philosophy in a way that doesn't feel like obvious exposition. Oz is grooming Victor the same way he's grooming the audience, and Victor also represents Gotham's underprivileged. When Oz promises Victor power and wealth stolen from the elites, he's making the same promise to Gotham itself. Oz is setting himself up to be Rex Calabrese's charismatic replacement, positioning himself as the leader of the people. You can already see the role he's envisioning for himself when he eventually returns in the Batman Part 2. In Batman Dark Victory, which follows the famous The Long Halloween storyline, a new serial killer shows up in Gotham, targeting cops connected to Harvey Dent and making it look like Dent is the murderer. It's later revealed that Sofia Falcone is the killer, hanging her victims and leaving Hangman clues as part of her revenge against Two-Face, who killed her father after it was revealed her brother Alberto was the holiday killer. In this episode of The Penguin, we learn that Sofia has just been released from Arkham, and she calls herself the Hangman, hinting that some version of Dark Victory's plot might unfold. While this version won't have the same setup or Two-Face involvement, the key detail is Sofia being blamed for multiple murders, which gives us important insight into her character's past. Along with the symbolism of Dolly Parton's 9 to 5, the Penguin Episode 1 also draws meaning from an almost 80-year-old movie. When Oz and Victor visit Francis Cobb, they're watching Gilda, a film noir classic starring Rita Hayworth and Glenn Ford, which is famously shown in The Shawshank Redemption. Oz is captivated as Hayworth's character sings, "Put the Blame on Mame," a song about creating a scapegoat, which sparks Oz's plan to clear himself of the blame for Alberto's murder. This moment is important because it's Oz's big epiphany, but there's more to Gilda that makes it the perfect movie for this scene. The Penguin borrows a lot from film noir, both in its tone and its visual style. The show's lighting and atmosphere feel straight out of a 1940s black and white film, even though it's in color. Gotham feels like it's drenched in shadows, much like a classic noir setting. The plot of Gilda also mirrors the themes of The Penguin. Gilda is a love triangle noir involving Hayworth's Gilda, Ford's Johnny Farrell, and a casino manager named Munson, who has ties to organized crime. Gilda and Farrell share a volatile past, and when she marries his boss Munson, tensions rise. But Gilda is more than a typical noir. There are hidden layers, including the suggestion that Farrell and Munson's relationship is more than just business. Hayworth's Gilda is also more than just a femme fatale. She has her own agency, which sets her apart. This ties directly into The Penguin. Gilda can be seen as a prototype for both Sofia and Oz. Like Gilda, Sofia is a strong female character with her own power, while Oz, like Farrell, is at the center of a complex conflict, both manipulating and being manipulated. The relationships in both stories are tools to gain advantage. The dynamic between Farrell and Munson reflects the tension between the Falcones and the Maronis. And while Gilda ends on a clean, Hollywood note, it's clear The Penguin will take a much darker, messy path. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.